Picture this, you're finally on that dream vacation, toes in the sand, not a care in the world. You're posting envy-inducing photos online, blissfully unaware that someone is watching your every move. But this isn't a scene from a cheesy thriller, it's the unsettling reality for a growing number of travelers. Thanks to the rise of discreet tracking devices like Apple AirTags, what should be a time for relaxation and adventure can quickly morph into a terrifying ordeal. We're talking about a whole new level of creepy, folks, where your personal space is violated and your safety is compromised, all in the name of technological convenience. Think about it. That rental car you're cruising around in, that designer bag you're toting around, even your own darn luggage could be secretly tagged, allowing strangers to follow your every move. It's enough to make you want to stay home and board up the windows, but don't despair just yet. We're going to dive deep into the world of AirTag misuse, exposing the shocking truth about how these seemingly innocent devices are being weaponized. More importantly, we'll arm you with the knowledge and tools you need to protect yourself and reclaim your right to a safe and worry-free vacation. Buckle up because things are about to get real. Let's start with the basics. What exactly are these AirTags everyone's talking about? In short, they're small, coin-sized tracking devices developed by Apple. Think of them as little digital bloodhounds that use Bluetooth technology to send out signals that can be picked up by other Apple devices. The idea is pretty nifty, at least on the surface. Attach an AirTag to your keys, wallet, or luggage, and if you misplace them, you can use the Find My app on your iPhone to locate them with impressive accuracy. Sounds pretty handy, right? And for the most part, it is. People use AirTags to keep tabs on all sorts of things, from their pets to their bikes, and it's undeniably useful for recovering lost or stolen items. But like any tool, AirTags can be misused, and that's where things start to get a little hairy. Imagine a world where anyone with an iPhone and a few bucks to spare can secretly track your whereabouts without your knowledge or consent. It sounds like something out of a dystopian sci-fi flick, but it's a reality we're facing today. And the scariest part? Most people have no idea it's even happening. The problem with AirTags isn't the technology itself, but the potential for abuse. While intended for innocent purposes like finding lost belongings, these tiny trackers can easily be exploited for more nefarious ends. Think about it, they're small, easily concealable, and relatively inexpensive, making them the perfect tool for stalkers, thieves, and anyone else looking to invade your privacy. It's a classic case of good intentions paving the road to digital hell. The ease with which AirTags can be slipped into a bag, pocket, or even attached to a vehicle without the owner's knowledge is deeply unsettling. Imagine getting into your car after a long day, completely unaware that a tiny device is transmitting your every move to some unknown individual. It's a chilling thought, and it's a scenario that's playing out with alarming frequency. The stories we're about to share will send chills down your spine and highlight the very real dangers of AirTag misuse. Get ready to have your sense of security shaken, because the truth about AirTag stalking is more disturbing than you might think. Let's move from hypothetical scenarios to actual cases that'll make your skin crawl. Remember that dream vacation we talked about? Well, for some, it's turned into a real-life nightmare thanks to AirTags. Take the story of a young woman who started receiving notifications on her iPhone about an unknown AirTag moving with her. She initially dismissed it as a glitch, but the alerts persisted, following her from her hotel to restaurants and even back to the airport. It turned out that someone had slipped an AirTag into her luggage, allowing them to track her every move throughout her trip. And it gets worse. There have been numerous reports of people finding AirTags hidden in their cars, purses, and even attached to their clothing. In some cases, the perpetrators were disgruntled ex-partners using AirTags to stalk and harass their victims. In others, it was thieves who used the devices to track expensive vehicles or belongings before making their move. These aren't isolated incidents, they're part of a disturbing trend that's raising serious concerns about privacy and safety in the digital age. The stories are out there, folks, and they're a stark reminder that in today's hyper-connected world, nobody is immune to the threat of digital stalking. Section 5. The Mechanics of Stalking, How AirTags Expose Your Every Move. So, how do these tiny trackers manage to expose your every move? It all boils down to the way AirTags communicate with Apple's vast network of devices. Remember those Bluetooth signals we mentioned earlier? Well, they're the key to AirTag's tracking capabilities. When an AirTag is within range of an iPhone, iPad, or Mac, it anonymously pings its location data to that device, which then relays the information to Apple's servers. If the AirTag's owner has marked it as lost, they can use the Find My app to see its location on a map. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? But here's where things get creepy. The entire process happens in the background without the iPhone owner's knowledge or consent. That means someone could be using your iPhone to unknowingly help them track an AirTag, and you'd be none the wiser. It's a brilliant system for finding lost keys, but a potential goldmine for stalkers and criminals looking to exploit its vulnerabilities. The good news is that Apple has implemented some safeguards to prevent AirTag misuse, but as we'll see, they're not foolproof. Staying one step ahead of the bad guys requires understanding how the system works and taking proactive steps to protect yourself. You can significantly reduce your risk of being tracked. Section 7. The future of travel balancing convenience and security. The rise of AirTags and similar tracking devices presents a unique challenge. How do we balance the undeniable convenience of this technology with the very real threat it poses to our privacy and security? It's a question that's becoming increasingly urgent as these devices become more sophisticated and ubiquitous. On the one hand, we have the potential to recover lost items with ease, track our belongings in real time, and even ensure the safety of vulnerable individuals. On the other hand, we're facing a future where our movements can be monitored, our privacy violated, and our sense of security shattered, all with the click of a button. It's a classic double-edged sword, and finding the right balance will require a multi-pronged approach. Tech companies like Apple have a responsibility to implement robust safeguards that prevent misuse of their devices. Law enforcement agencies need to be equipped to investigate and prosecute cases of AirTag stalking effectively. And most importantly, individuals need to be aware of the risks, take proactive steps to protect themselves, and demand greater accountability from both tech companies and lawmakers. The future of travel hinges on our ability to harness the power of technology without sacrificing our fundamental right to privacy and security. Section 8. Beyond AirTags, the growing threat of location tracking. While AirTags have taken center stage in the discussion about location tracking, it's crucial to remember that they're just one piece of a much larger puzzle. We live in a world where our every move is tracked, analyzed, and monetized by a complex ecosystem of apps, devices, and data brokers. From our smartphones to our fitness trackers, our online activity to our social media profiles, we're leaving a digital trail of breadcrumbs that can be used to build a disturbingly accurate picture of our lives. This constant surveillance might seem harmless, even convenient at times, but it comes at a steep price: our privacy. The more data we surrender, the more vulnerable we become to manipulation, exploitation, and even harm. It's time to start asking ourselves some tough questions. How much of our privacy are we willing to sacrifice in the name of convenience? What are the long-term consequences of living in a society where our every move is tracked and analyzed? And most importantly, what steps can we take to reclaim control over our data and protect our right to privacy in the digital age? Section 9. Taking back control, your right to privacy in a digital age. The good news is that it's not too late to take back control of our digital lives. We can start by being more mindful of the information we share online and the permissions we grant to apps and devices. We can explore privacy-focused alternatives to mainstream products and services, and we can demand greater transparency and accountability from the companies that collect and profit from our data. It's time to reclaim our right to privacy, not as a luxury, but as a fundamental human right. We need to push back against the normalization of constant surveillance and demand a future where technology empowers, not exploits. This isn't just about AirTags, it's about taking a stand against the erosion of privacy in all its forms. It's about demanding a digital world where we have control over our data, our lives, and our destinies. Section 10. Stay safe, stay informed, a call to action for travelers everywhere. So the next time you're packing for that dream vacation, remember that the most important thing you can pack is awareness. Stay informed about the potential dangers of AirTag stalking and other forms of digital surveillance. Take proactive steps to protect yourself by being vigilant, checking your belongings, and familiarizing yourself with the tools and resources available to you. But don't stop there. Share this information with your friends, family, and fellow travelers. Together, we can raise awareness about this growing threat and demand greater accountability from tech companies and lawmakers. The future of travel, and indeed, the future of our digital lives, depends on it. Stay safe, stay informed, and let's reclaim our right to explore the world without fear of being tracked. Thank you for watching Informed Tourist AI, and if this video informed you, please hit that like button and subscribe. Now please enjoy this next video, it was picked out just for you.